Now, the bank's mission is to expand access to Sharia-compliant financial services across the world. Officials say they've been seeing a fair bit of growing appetite for some of its products in China, especially Sukuk issuances. Since its inception in the 1970s, the bank has approved around $200 billion worth of loans to 57 member states. For more on its impact here on the African continent, CGTN's Adel Mahrouki spoke to the group chairman, Dr. Mohammed Al-Jasser.
It is a landmark date for us. 50 years of operation in our 57 member countries deserves a Golden Jubilee celebration. So we take stock of what have we done. What did we do? Over the years, we did more than $200 billion of financing of projects. More than 13,000 projects have been financed. So we have been extremely busy over the past 50 years. And now we celebrate our achievements of the last 50 years, but also chart our path for the next 50 years, inshallah.
How does the new 10-year strategy for the ISDB group, will help in evolving its practices?
Well, as you know, the global economy now is going through a lot of turbulences, and our member countries are not that able to cope with all of these changes. So we are working on the resilience of our economies to try to help them navigate through all these turbulent waters. This is very important, and that's why we have created arrangements for the COVID, $5 billion, and another arrangement for food shortages after the Ukraine problem, about $10.5 billion, and then with the climate difficulties that happened, we also put a package of about $24 billion with the Arab Coordination Group lending institutions. So we spend a lot of time trying to see what are the most pressing problems facing our member countries, and we go out and help them. The only thing that is very important across the field is that it will enhance the infrastructure of those countries, because we know development is very dependent on a good infrastructure, because we have seen countries where one region is producing a lot of food and it's rotting in the fields, while another region in the same country is starving for lack of food. Why? Maybe just because there is no road to connect those two. So a road in that case is a very vital investment for that country, and we pay attention to these types of problems.
There's no doubt that locally in the region, in the Islamic region, the OIC members, there is growing appetite for Sharia-compliant financial services. But how are you positioning the bank's services, like Sukuk, for example, to other markets, like from China to East Asia?
I have made visits, and my colleagues also in the finance complex, to introduce Sukuk. Some people are bewildered about what Sukuk is. I tell them simply, it is a vanilla bond, with one exception. It is asset-backed, which means you cannot over-leverage it, which means you're protecting your economy. In 2008 financial crisis, if only Sukuk were used, it would not have happened, because it does not allow for that type of leveraging. So Sukuk has an embedded protection mechanism that a lot of people outside the Muslim world don't understand it yet. So last time I visited China, now we have more than 4 or 5 banks for the first time investing in our Sukuk. The Philippines, a non-Muslim country, is issuing Sukuk now on its own. I think Philippines and Hong Kong also issued Sukuk. And a lot of institutional investors hold our Sukuk now. It's AAA with a nice return, and it's tested. We've been issuing it for the past 20 years. We issued more than $40 billion of Sukuk. And what more does one ask for? So we continue, and of course we are innovating, continuing to innovate also with other products that fit certain needs in some countries or in some projects, but all that does not contravene any Sharia.
Are they more profitable than similar bonds?
No, not necessarily. No, not necessarily. They're very close to the bonds. Actually, even now when we go to the market and borrow, the difference is really small, and it's small. It could be equal if it weren't for the liquidity depth, and that's why we're pushing in China and other places to enhance the liquidity of the sukuk in order to make it equal to the bonds, to the vanilla bonds.